Hello YouTube, welcome back. Got another video here for you, another replay. I'm gonna do something a little different this time. I'm gonna do some commentary. I've had people ask in the comments and in DMs on Discord with my friends saying I should do commentary, so here I am. Let me know what you think in the comments. This is my first time doing something like this on one of my gameplay videos. I normally just do this on my guides and educational content, so yeah, let me know your thoughts. Let me know what I can fix, improve, if you like it, if you didn't like it, all that stuff. And I'm actually glad to be doing commentary for this, because this is a very good Latias game, and Latias just came out, so if you want to see some good gameplay on the Pokemon, and sort of how the Pokemon works, the strengths it has, this is a good video to watch. Obviously I had a Latios partner, and then we teamed out a Latios duo as well. I think we did a little better than they did, and I think my damage on my team was a little better than theirs overall. Yeah, and the numbers show it too, right? So interestingly, we both had the same movement sets on the Latiases, and the Latioses were almost the same. They swapped the first move. But as you can see, it's going to be very similar gameplay from us both. And I'll sort of talk about what the moves do as the game goes on and as they become relevant. But yeah, first impressions on Latias is that it's not a very high damage support. You got decent burst, but really truly you're relying on your team, right? Which is why it's a supporter Pokemon. All your moves in some way help your team. You have AoE damage and slows. You have shields to boost your team, stuff like that. All stuff that basically relies on your team being decent for you to be able to do much. So your starting moves are Swift and Confusion, like Latios. The Swift is a little different. It's an AoE like fan as opposed to the little One Direction shot from Latios' Swift. I do think the Swift from Latias is a little less damage than Latios, but obviously the higher area means that you can hit multiple targets more easily. And in lanes like this, where I'm against Owl plus Umbreon, I'm really focused on getting levels early on for my Latios, or whoever I'm playing with, because at the end of the day, we're both Pokemon that need to level 5 to screw with them online, to start building Eon stacks. Their Pokemon, when they hit 5, like, Umbreon's strong, yeah, but Owl is still just Owl, so, like, if we just get all the contested, we're in good shape. We missed that one, which is a little rough. This is also a kind of weird game in general, because as you can see, our jungle farm is still left. I don't really know what our jungler is doing this game. It felt like he was pretty low elo, but that just is what it is sometimes. Again, still just showing up for every single farm possible. I want to get everything from my Latios. I want to get him 5 as soon as possible, because he builds Eon stacks every time he uses Dragon Pulse and hits an enemy Pokemon. And obviously the same is true for me, so I want him to get strong so we can get kills, so I can get XP from those and then level up as well. The Umbreon jumps pretty low here. We don't get any kills, but it is good stacks still for him. Good experience. We got the contested for the most part. As you can see, they're still severely underleveled compared to us. They have less farm overall. This is something that happens a lot in lanes as a supporter in my experience, where your carry is like dying, and so I just sort of like to put myself between the enemy and my carry. Reason being is, as my carry's walking away, if I hold my ground, then the enemy's auto targets will eventually start to hit me instead of my carry, so it sort of gives them another target to have to fight through before they can get to my guy. That's sort of my thinking in general with stuff like that. I do think with Latios in general, you want to play pretty close to each other if you can, because you get a movement speed boost just by being nearby one another. So it's really, really valuable to play the game together as much as possible, I think. And when you're not together, of course, you have Levitate, which I don't use this game, I think, but my Latios uses it once, the active component. So for those that don't know, maybe you've played against Latios and you know that the move gives you a move speed boost whenever you... Or the ability gives you move speed boost whenever you use a move. But to give a little more info, with Latias specifically, as I said, you get a move speed boost just in general being around Latias, which does stack with move speed boost from using moves. And you also have an active component of Levitate, which teleports you instantly. Yeah, you can see they're using it on their side. Latios flies into Latias' location. What it'll do is it'll drop a beacon where the other is standing, and it's a visible beacon that only you and your team can see. Obviously in replays though, we can see their beacons as well. And the idea is, after a short duration, the other will land where the beacon is, whoever used the Levitate. Here I'm just going straight for berries. I don't want him to steal them in a situation like that, so that was really important. I have 2 teammates with high HP. They can tank a little for me, so I just want to back off and make sure we live. And look at this, as soon as I do live and we do recover from the situation, we're able to push up successfully. And this is part of why I like Dragon Pulse on Latias. So as you can see, the little beam area is a pretty wide area of effect. The burst damage early on is decent. I wouldn't say it's great or anything. It's not as good as Latios' Dragon Pulse, obviously. You do build the little gems that shoot at people as well. But the biggest thing is that it heals you. The healing is pretty substantial. I wouldn't say it's like insane or anything. It's a little better than SHOWDOWN is sort of how my experience has treated it. And I already like running SHOWDOWN on a lot of Pokemon anyway, so it's just a natural fit in my mind. Then the other move is Dragon Shear. I don't know if you saw me use it in Mimikyu. It's kind of hard to see sometimes, the effect. But the idea is you put a shield on the target when you use it on them, and their next attack deals extra damage. And once you use it, you get a second use of it, and you can use it on another target and does the same thing to them, or the same target where you'll put another shield on them, boost their next attack again. Oh, hang on. Yeah, there's the dual ults. I'll talk more about that in a minute. But yeah, that was an example of it. What was I saying? Right, Dragon Shear. But if you use it on the same target again, not only do you get a shield, they get a shield, but you also fly to their location. You can see there it helps me jump to the Latios, and obviously using it with Levitate to get the movement speed boost is really nice. And then, of course, it just helps Latios and Latias in general. Also of note, if you use it on Latios, then he gets another movement speed boost as well. So, as you can see, these two Pokemon synergize really well, providing each other a lot of mobility. Just constant high movement speed means they can constantly position where they need to be in team fights. You can see I'm able to throw out a Dragon Pulse, hit the Regieleki, and then back off before the enemy team can even get to my position. So the dual I was going to talk about as well. If you use your ult of both Latios and Latias on the same Pokemon, it'll do like an area of effect burst on them, which you saw before. And from what I can tell, it's about the same damage the attack itself does, but it does it on all Pokemon around them. So, I don't think it's like you have to use it that way every single time. It's pretty cool sometimes. Obviously the effect looks nice. I think that it's pretty much a situational thing where if your partner, Latios or Latias, is using it and you would like for them, and you would like to use it as well, you can do that, but if you don't have it, or if they don't have it and you want to use yours, that's perfectly fine as well. They're scoring top here, but I'm already bottom, so I'm just committing and farming this stuff. Plus the objective is spawning soon, so I'm not really concerned with them scoring top. They are in the lead right now, but we're up on farm for the most part, so I'm trying to make sure we maintain that advantage. There you saw the Latios levitate to me, teleport across the map. It's a nice way to soak up farm multiple parts of the map, right? He can farm one place, I can start farm somewhere else, and he teleports to me. Here's the area of effect burst again. And it allows us to finish him off with Dragon Pulses on both of us, and we pick off the easy attackers as well. So as you can see, the main thing these two synergize with, besides movement speed, is both having good burst damage. So they work very well at securing kills together, which is again why you want to play together. These are very much Pokemon that I think they're at their best when they're both on the same team. They kind of struggle a little bit in certain areas on their own. For Latios and Latias both, I think that their survivability in the mid-game and late-game is very, very suspect, especially to Pokemon that can dash a lot, like All-Rounders with dashes, Lucario, Cerulege, and pretty much any Speedster eats these Pokemon for breakfast. You really don't want to fight them as Latios or Latias unless you have a teammate with you for some kind of defense. Even together, I had another game, not this one, but I had another one where I was with Latios in that game as well. He wasn't as good as this one, and we just like kept getting picked off by this Talonflame. Like he would kill one of us, then the other. So I think that their weaknesses in that sense are still pretty rough, but I think their strengths really come out more. I think that the way they play together is not necessarily shoring up each other's weaknesses so much as they're like balancing by giving each other more of their strengths. So you just do really well at what you're doing, and hopefully your team does their job. Here was kind of unfortunate. I backed off to try to let my teammates avoid the shot going left or right. They sort of lined up for it. Maybe I should have seen that coming, maybe not. Who knows? I sort of think it's a bit of an early res, but it is what it is. I'm down to push this since my Latios is there, and we have the Regieleki that went in. You'll notice that I have XP share, but even though we've gotten a lot of kills and I have a lot of assists, like, where am I at right now? Yeah, 15 assists. This is not a low kill game. I'm only level 12 right now. I think that Latias is sort of like Psyduck in that it's more level hungry than you think, right? Like your pluses being on 11 and 13 means you're usually not going to get both. And on top of that, you want to build Eon stacks with Latias as well, so you want to be getting last hits, so you're kind of level hungry in that sense, just innately. Here I'm trying to play a little away from my Latios while checking bushes because I can easily get back to him with Dragon Shear. I use it there, and there you see use it on two different targets, right? Sometimes you don't have to use it on the same person, sometimes you just want to buff two people with shields and the boosted attack, if you don't need the mobility. It just depends on the situation. So there we had two different targets with our ults, which is totally fine. As you can see, it still worked out pretty well. We're kind of wrecking them right now. You see their Latios trying to wrap around and gank me or my Latios. But unfortunately, his positioning is just not good. He's caught out by the Glaceon and easily picked off afterwards. And it's just clockwork from there, right? We easily dispatch their whole team and get the Rayquaza, and things are pretty much GG from here. I'll let the replay pay out because they didn't surrender, if I do remember correctly. But I'll talk about a few more thoughts in general about Latios and Latias. Like I said, you generally want to play together as much as possible, and your Levitate's a big part of what enables that. Obviously, being able to teleport to your teammate across the map is really, really useful if they're far away and you need to get somewhere. Something I found that helps that you may have seen right at the start of Rayquaza was my Latios teleported home to heal, and then he used Levitate to come back to me. It gives you a quick way to re-enter the fray. It can also help with ganks. Like, let's say you're playing opposite sides of the map as Latios and Latias in lane, and you want to teleport to your Latios. You could do that, or maybe he's your mid laner, he ganks top lane, your bottom is Latias, and you want to be at his side to help that gank, right? You can teleport too, and maybe you have a strong lane partner like a Ho-Oh who can handle themselves on their own. But suffice to say, they're Pokemon that want to play together, but they have a lot of synergy in ways that a lot of other Pokemon don't. They can play really well apart if they need to. They're just both pretty fun Pokemon. I really enjoy playing both. I'm really glad with how strong they are. I don't think that Latias is as strong as Latios on its own. I think Latias is actually kind of mid on its own, maybe like B tier, and becomes more closer to A or even high A when you have Latios. And Latios, of course, is, I would say, maybe A, and gets to be S tier when you have a Latias on your team, just because of how squishy he is. He can be very easy to kill. But anyway, that is the game. Thank you so much for watching. As I said before, let me know in the comments what you thought of the commentary, what other suggestions you may have for future videos, and yeah, I'll see you next time. Peace!